Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek. Apologies, I'm a little bit late. There's reasons. Anyway, welcome to Magnificent Mondays. This week, as you saw from the trailer there, we're doing Troll Hunter, the 2010 Norwegian found footage film, which is one of my favourite found footage films. I love found footage as a genre in general. We've done Cloverfield, we've done Skinwalkers. They're another two of my favourite ones. But this week, we're doing Troll Hunter, which was directed by, hang on, just sorting things out, which was directed by André Øvredal, probably mispronouncing that, I do apologise. But, and a bunch of Norwegian people who nobody outside of Norway's ever heard of. Sorry. Apologies to Norwegians, but that's just the way it is. Right, so before we start, don't forget, hit the like button or smash it or whatever they say, use it. The like button, subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment in the live chat or afterwards in the regular comments part and all that stuff. And also hit the notification bell and then you'll be alerted when I put new videos up or go live and stuff like that. Fingers crossed. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Yes, I'm just making sure. Later on, I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Links in the description for all that. As are the links, hang on. As are the links for my two books, Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff, and Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats, genetically engineered big cats. Ooh. Roaming around North Yorkshire, eating people. Sorry, I'm just adjusting things and moving things around. I've just finished watching that, the Blu-ray for Troll Hunter. Great film. That's why I'm a little bit late. I'm a little bit late getting started and starting to watch it. Right, so info about the film. Right, as I said, directed by André Øvredal, who would go on to direct great films such as, and I can't remember, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, and another one that I can't remember. I'll have to check. Just bear with me. Another one that I've seen recently, and I can't really remember what it is. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, obviously that one. And yes, of course, yes. Last Voyage of the Demeter, he directed that as well, which were okay. Not to his usual standard, in my opinion. But anyway, he's done those. And Troll Hunter was produced for a budget of 19 million Norwegian kroners, which is equivalent to $3.5 million. And it's a cult film. And we'll get on with it, shall we? Let's just get on with the flaming film. Right, so I shall make myself titchy tiny, as I do. There we go. And I'll share the screen. Right, so off we go. As usual, I won't just be playing the film because I'll get into trouble. We'll be going through it, reviewing it, as you say, in a series of stills. I may play the odd snippet, and I'll try and do some information along the way. Although there isn't a lot of information about this film, to be completely honest. The Blu-ray was sorely lacking in special features. A couple of little, videos about the special effects and behind the scenes, but not a lot, and there's no commentaries or anything like that. So not on mine anyway. Not on that one. So I don't know a huge amount about it. I know it was filmed in Norway, obviously. So we see a lot of the gorgeous Norwegian countryside. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? Right, off we go. Right, we start with some information cards. In October 13th, or I should say on October 13th, 2008, that company, Film Camera Team, AS, whatever, got an anonymous package. This film is a rough cut of version of the material. For over a year, they sought to find out whether it is a scam, blah, blah, blah. The material is genuine. Of course it is. That's how found footage films work. Footage is found, and that's what's happened here. Right, so we're introduced to the main characters. Don't ask me their bloody names. Hang on, I'll tell you. Right, so where is he? Thomas. This is I get mixed up which is which. I think this is Thomas, played by Glenn Erland Tosterud. Have I got that right? Have I got that right? Yes, it is. Because they're not in the cast list. They're not in a very good order, to be completely honest. Let me have a look on IMDb, see if that's got it any better. Not really. Anyway, where were we? This is Thomas. He's the leader of it. It's about a group, by the way. It's about a group of Norwegian students, film students, who want to do like a documentary about what they think is a bear poacher who's going out poaching bears out in the western, I think the north of Norway. So we've got Thomas there, who's kind of the leader, is the interviewer, and I think that producer and director and all that. We've got a cameraman called Callie, played by Thomas Alf Larsen, and the sound person is Johanna, played by Johanna Mørk. I'm probably mispronouncing that because Norwegian, it's got its peculiar letters with dots over and lines through and stuff like that. So they're the three students, and they're off to meet Hans the troll. Well, we learn he becomes spoilers. We learn he becomes the troll hunter, but they think he's poaching bears, played by Otto Jespersen. And that name rings a bell. I think I've seen him in something else. Let's have a look. It does ring a bell. Does that? Maybe I'm just remembering it from this, but. Hans Otto Jespersen is a Norwegian comedian, actor, and television personality. Oh, right. He starred in the title role of the 2010 film Troll Hunter. And that's it. Right. Fair enough. I think that's all he's done. Like comedy stuff. So maybe I don't know him from anything else. The name sounds familiar. Anyway. Right. Off we go. Right. So here we are. Right. So they're getting ready to do their stuff. I've pressed it. Hang on. There we go. Right, so they're off to try and find this poacher who they think's poaching bears out in Norway. See a lot of lovely countryside. They come across some bear hunters who are licensed. These are, legal people that will go hunting bears. They're licensed by the government to go out and, sort out any bears that may pose a danger to the public. That's what they're doing. This is where they're saying if this chap is shooting bears, he's doing it illegally. And there's some more, and some more. So anyway, so they found they learned that all they know about him is the man in the Land Rover. So obviously there mustn't be many Land Rovers knocking about in in Norway, but they find him and they follow him. As I said, lovely Norwegian countryside. And that's a good pause, isn't it? But yeah, they're trying to get an interview with him, but obviously he doesn't want to talk to him. But I think we've got a look. Here we get a look. There we go. A brief look. Let's see if we can get it again. That's a look at Johanna, the sound girl. They're sorting the camera out. See, this is good found footage stuff. It's stuff like this that makes good found footage films, where people are just fannying about with the camera. And that's Callie, the cameraman. Obviously, we don't see a lot of him because he's behind the camera most of the film. But when he is on the front side of the camera, he makes an impression, particularly later on. Right, so there's Thomas having a wee. So they get over the radio that they know where he is. So they're heading for this campsite. There we see some lovely fjords. I presume the fjords. It's Norway, isn't it? not pining for them. This is the chap at the campsite, and he points out where this chap in the Land Rover's staying. Points it out. There we go. This caravan here, trailer, caravan, whatever. Looks a bit beaten up and old, but it's got all these really bright lights around it, and it's padlocked, and there's all this stuff hanging around outside. They don't know why, and he says he sleeps all day. They never see him at night. He goes out at night, comes back before sunrise, and then they don't see him again till night time. So that's what he's saying there. By the way, it's in Norwegian, by the way, with English subtitles. There is an English dub. I think it's on like Netflix or something like that. And there is an English dub. And I think there is an English dub on the Blu-ray. But it's not a very good one, to be honest. It's okay, but I find a lot of the time English dubs are sometimes more distracting than subtitles. They are for me anyway, but they take me out of it. But anyway, so they're on the road again. Windows are steaming up, aren't they? They need to open those windows. Crack a window. Or give him a good wipe. But they followed him, and they lost him. They didn't know where he was. So they come back the next day. And anyway, here we go. So they encounter him, and they ask for an interview, and he tells them to get lost. So they don't get an interview with him yet. He shuts himself away in his caravan. But then we're looking at his Land Rover. They have a good look at his Land Rover and see it's badly damaged down the sides. There we go. So I presume they're thinking a bear. A bear's clawed his Land Rover. But obviously we learn that's not the case. Right, so they're going to follow him again. I think he's taking it. Is he taking his... No, he's not taking it yet, is he? No, he's going out now. So they're following him again in the dark. They don't find out where he is. I think last time I'm getting ahead of myself. This is when they don't know where he is. They lose him, so they just come back. So they have a look inside of his caravan using the night vision thing. He's got like tinted windows; they can't see in, but switch the night vision on, they can see inside. And they see that he's got things hanging about and drawings on the wall and stuff. Obviously of trolls. Turns out these are troll tails he's got hanging about in his caravan. Obviously, they don't know that. There we go. Some fur stuff hanging from the ceiling. Troll tails. Spoilers. There's trolls in this film. And then they learn that a bear's been shot. So they're going to investigate that and then saying, is it him that shot the bear? So they go there and there's the official bear people there. And a fella called Finn, this chap here, is from the government. And here we see the bear. It doesn't look very convincing to me. Maybe it is. I don't know if it is a real bear or not, stuffed bear or what, but it looks really fake to me, but I'm no expert. And they don't know how it's got there. These bear hunters are saying the tracks don't look right, and they think the bear's been brought there and dumped. But Finn says that's ridiculous. This is where he's saying that the tracks don't look right. This is Finn, the government chap, who works for an organisation called the TSS. We'll learn what that stands for later. And he says, obviously, it's, obviously the tracks are real. There's a bear there. It's being shot. There's tracks all around. They're crazy. Are the hunters saying something's wrong? There we go. The plot thickens as far as they're concerned. Oh, they're following him again. He's hooked up his caravan. He's going off somewhere now. So they follow him. He's off onto a ferry. So they follow him onto the ferry. And he comes off again. By the way, it rains a lot in this film. It's Norway, after all. It's not Benidorm, is it? It's Norway. It's going to rain, isn't it? So they're following him to wherever he's gone. It's a more beautiful Norwegian countryside. Look at those waterfalls, look, rolling down the mountain. I've been to Norway, by the way. It is a lovely country, but it's really expensive. It is really expensive. Oh, it was when did I go? 1990. It was then. But it's a beautiful country. And we went in June, I think it was. And we went on a train from Oslo to Stockholm in And is it that train I'm thinking of? No, I think we're on a train from Bergen to Oslo, and it went over the mountains. This is in June, and there were like snow, like 20 feet thick, deep, on either side of the train as we were going through it. That was an experience. Right. Anyway, so they're following him. Right. So they're watching him from a distance, and they see he parks up, and they notice he takes a tire, and he just dumps it near this bridge. Remember, some trolls like to hang around under bridges. They do mention fairy tales in this, and some of the stuff that you hear in fairy tales is true, some of it isn't. There's one thing in particular that I don't know why they went with. Well, I do know why they went with this in this film for dramatic effect later on, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So they're wondering why he's dumping a tire down there. So they follow him again. So they're heading more Norwegian countryside on another ferry. So he's going somewhere else. Is they going back where they came, or is it just another ferry to somewhere else? I have no idea. So anyway, so they see him on the ferry. He's not in his car. So they go and have a chat with him. He got a hidden mic, so goes and has a chat with him. Says, I want an interview with you. We're from the Volder College. Just want to ask some questions, but he doesn't want to talk to him. So he comes to bog off again. So they're still following him because they're, tenacious, not pernicious. They're tenacious, aren't they? These young students. A little too tenacious, to be honest. There we go. Somebody's questioning, should we still be following him? And he says, do you think Michael Moore gave up after the first attempt? So obviously models himself on Michael Moore, the famed Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker. Anyway, so they're still following him. So he's arrived at another campsite. So they've rented some sort of cabin to keep an eye on him. There we go. So they're all waiting with the feet up. And suddenly he's on the move. So they jump in their car. I think this is the first good look we get of their car. It's a good job we get a good look of it here. So this green, whatever it is. Is it a Volkswagen Polo or something like that? I don't know. I'm not big on cars. But anyway, they follow him into the Norwegian countryside. They come across a gate that's got a sign in it that says danger, blasting area. So they ignore it. They throw the sign away and open it up. And so they park up the car and they go off to try and find him. And that's what he's saying. If there are any inbred pig farmers there, your ass is first. But they follow these tracks. They find his tracks that he's left. They find his Land Rover. And everything's going okay. Just let me double check. Make sure we're still going. Just bear with me. You might hear my voice in a minute. Just let me double check. Just wanted to make sure. Right, where were we? So there you go. They'll have a look in his Land Rover. Looks a bit of a state, doesn't it? But never mind. And then they see some lights flashing in the forest. Hear some like roaring. I wonder what the hell's going on. We hear something far away, and they see some lights flashing. Then he comes running out of the forest. There's Hans. Here he comes in a minute. Here he comes. And he yells "troll," which you might have seen in the trailer. Did it show it? I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. I was checking other things while the trailer went on. But it's the famous part of the film where he comes out, "troll." So they all run away, following him, and they get down to his Land Rover. By the way, we lost sight of Thomas for a while, and then we hear him screaming. Then he comes running out, and he's got an injury on his shoulder, on his right shoulder. He's been scratched by the troll, it seems. So anyway, they get away in his Land Rover. He's dealing with the injury as best he can. His hands, giving him a tetanus shot and everything. This injury comes back later on in the film. They kind of forget about it for a while, but it does come back later on. Anyway, it gives them a lift back to their car, and then we learn their car's not in the best shape. It's on its side. and the tyres have gone. Well, on the left-hand side of the car, the tyres have gone. Because apparently trolls can't resist chewing on a good tyre, apparently, because they eat rocks and stuff like that. But they also eat meat, and and they also like chewing on tyres. They're like catnip for trolls, apparently. But their car's trashed. So, oh yes, it is a Volkswagen. I can see the little logo down there. You see it down there. There you stop it. So maybe it is a polo or polo or a Golf or something like that. Probably a polo. Anyway, so there you go. That's no bear. Who did this? He says in Norwegian. So he gives them a lift back to the campsite. 'Cause obviously their car's not good shape, and he's saying. He's asking if they'll film him, what he does, because they know now that it's about trolls. I suspect they haven't actually seen one yet, even though Thomas has been got by one. He doesn't know. He just says something got me. I think he says something bit me, but later on they say it's a scratch. So I don't know. Anyway, so that's what they're saying. They're saying to him, let us film you, and he just stop, and I think he's thinking about it. And anyway. There you go. Then he decides, yes, he's going to let him film him. He said, but you got to do whatever he says. Okay. So they said, right, fair enough. So they're gonna go around with him and film what he does. And they ask him why, and he says, because he's had enough of it. Basically, he's had enough of his job, and he's fed up with the secrecy because it's top secret. Nobody knows that trolls are real. And he says, if it gets on TV, maybe it'll make the government change their mind and let it public and all that. He's been working for decades on his own, essentially. He's the only troll hunter, the only government troll hunter in Norway. He's been doing it for decades. Before that, he was a Navy Ranger, he says. But he's saying it hurts, his shoulder hurts, but, it's not too bad. It comes and goes. Anyway. Right, so they're going out with him now. Obviously, they've no transport now. I don't know how they'd have gone on if he'd have said no, and they'd have had to find a way to get back home. But anyway. Yeah, so they all pile in his. Yes, I forgot about that. He asks them. Anyway, he asks them if any of them's Christian and or religious. And they all say no. Or do you believe in Jesus and God? That's what he asks. And they all say no. And he says, because trolls can smell the blood of a Christian. And that's the one thing that sort of like takes me out of the film a little bit, because they do it in all this scientific way. They explain trolls later on. They meet a vet that explains trolls, and that they're just another sort of animal, a weird animal, but they're just an animal, a mammal that reacts in different ways, but they're not intelligent essentially, and they're just they do what they do. But then, for some reason, they can smell the blood of a Christian. What does the blood of a Christian smell like compared to the blood of a non-Christian? No idea. But anyway, so there's his asking. They all say no, but we learn later on one of them is a Christian. Much to his detriment. Right, so they go in. I was telling him. So we learn that it was him that put the blasting area gate sign on the gate, because this is where they're going to check for a troll. And obviously, there's a landmine there. I don't know why they show us this, because I don't think we use it. I don't think we see it again. But he's got a landmine in his Land Rover. Right, so he tells them to rub all this stuff all over their bodies. He says, "Go down to the river, wash yourselves, and then rub this all over you." And it's like troll smell. And he says, so they can get close to the trolls and they won't run away. The human are about it, but they do it eventually. There you go. You have to smell like troll. Well, it stinks horrible. Can't smell worse than me. That's what they do. So off they go into the forest. And he's got his got like a big thing that shines UV light, and that's why he's saying they don't like sunlight. And we learned that some trolls explode when subjected to sunlight, some turn to stone. And we learned that it depends on the age of the troll. Young ones explode, old ones turn to stone. They don't really turn to stone, they like calcify. But anyway. So off they go into the forest. Oh, right, he's on the phone now. He's on his phone and he's talking to somebody. And this somebody, turns out it's a vet, a lady vet that we'll meet later on. And she wants a blood sample from the troll, but he hasn't got that equipment with him. But he gets one later on. And then he says, and as he hangs up, he says, "You too." I thought, right, because he's in a relationship with his vet. But that's by the by. Right, so off he goes into the woods, and he tells them to wait there while he goes off to check on this troll. So they're just hanging about now, wondering what they're getting into. I mean, he's already been got by a troll, hasn't he? So Thomas should be up for this or believe in it. Maybe he just thinks he was got by a bear. Maybe I don't know, but he didn't see. But they think maybe they've made a mistake, and they were showing the night vision. Maybe I think they've made a mistake, and then they see flashing. He puts the camera down. There's Callie, and then we see in the distance. There we go, flashing and roaring. Wondering what's going on there. What strange sound? What is that? And then they see we're going to see it in a minute. The trees start moving about, and the bloody gate troll comes out. There we go, running out. There's hands. It's a bloody tosser lad. He thought it was a Ringle Finch or something. They've all got weird names. But it's not the trolley we're wondering. And then we see his first troll in the film. It comes through the trees. It's a big bugger. But we see bigger ones. And we see smaller ones. And it's got 3 heads. There you go. And here it comes. It gets it's sniffing at the air. And then it looks at them and roars. So they all run off into the woods, like in separate directions. But now, obviously, now we're seeing it from Callie's point of view because he's the one with the camera. And so he's terrified. He puts his night vision on and he finds Thomas. We see I think we see the troll walking about. In a minute. No, he sees Thomas first. I think we did see the troll. Sees Thomas, so he finds him. Then they find Hans, and he points and he tells him to shush and points. And as we're looking, there you go. Turns around, you think we're seeing a tree trunk. Obviously, it's not. There you go. It's the troll. It starts sniffing. It gets another whiff of them. So they all go running again, chased by the troll. But they get out to this clearing. By the luckily, they end up by his Land Rover. I'd have been completely lost. I could have been halfway to Sweden, but no. Luckily, they end up by his by Hans's Land Rover with all his equipment on the roof. He tells him to get behind the Land Rover. There you go. And then he turns on this big UV lights, and it instantly turns the troll to stone. And there we go. So that's the end of that troll. And then they go, "Where's Joanna? Where is she?" But she comes running out. She's all excited. She saw it as well. So they're all excited about it. But then he's cross, his hands. Why did none of you say you were a Christian? And they're still denying it. They're still denying that they are. And he said the reason it was so agitated because it could smell the blood of a Christian. But they're still denying that any of them are Christian. Right, so he's going to go and smash up the troll now, use his big sledgehammer. Where he's saying that the state wants to keep it a secret. And there you go, he's saying it's a crappy job and maybe no overtime, no additional pay. He's got to work nights. There's just him. It's time for a change in management, he thinks, if he can get it on TV. So anyway, the troll collapses, hits it with his sledgehammer. Go on, hit it. Oh dear, there we go. When it comes crashing down. By the way, it's all CG, isn't it? Obviously, all CG, the trolls, and they've done really well. We see the pile of trolls. So, obviously they've killed it. Poor troll. Not sure why. My chat window only just popped in. Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the show, Wingrace. I was a bit late starting anyway. Is YouTube being silly? Is it playing silly beggars? Anyway. Just bear with me, I'm just doing stuff. There we go. Just making sure everything's still hunky-dory. Yeah. What's that doing? Yep, right. Where were we? Right, so now he's gonna I think he blows up the he covers it up with all that stuff, and then I think he just blows it up with a little. He says, "Does any of you want any gravel?" Because he's turning what's left of the troll into tiny stones. What they're doing. Right, I think this is Finn. Finn arrives. He's not happy to see these students here, and we learn there's lots of dead cows in the valley, and he tries to get them to stop filming, but they won't. But then a van arrives, and then we get some English dialogue in this film now. These chaps, these are from Poland apparently, and it's their job. The other bear that we saw earlier on, it's their job to plant bears in troll areas where where trolls have been doing stuff. They've got to blame it on bears, and so they kill bears elsewhere and drop them where trolls have been. So they've got a bear. Oh, steady on. Finn isn't happy because it's the wrong sort of bear that we learn. There we go. It's not a Scandinavian bear. It's from Croatia. They're saying, well, a bear's a bear, isn't it? So there we go. Another bad-looking bear, isn't it? Doesn't look like a real bear at all, does it? Maybe dead bears do look like bear suits. I don't know. Anyway, so they leave it there, and then they walk around. They've got bare feet things that they leave tracks with. So those hunters were right. It was, there was something fishy going on earlier on. Right. So, there he's getting his bare footprints to leave bare footprints about, and they're going to shoot some bullets into him. He's best at finding bear. Why does Finn buy bears? I do not know. These don't know about the trolls, by the way. They don't know, but they're just paid to provide bears to Finn. So off they go. They're asking me, what is his job? What is his job description? And I thought he'd say something like, on forms, it's like, I don't know, forest management or something like that. But he just says, to kill all the trolls who get out from their territories. I mean, you can't put that on on your job description, for your pension or whatever, can you? Your tax form. But anyway. But we learn that something's happening now. This is, as I said, this is a special situation. More trolls are being seen. Something has driven these trolls down from the areas where they're supposed to be. And they've got to find out why. That's where they're saying he's one of Norway's greatest heroes. And says, no, he ain't. It's a dirty job. But somebody's got to do it, basically. Right, so they're off again. Oh, ban me. Find out what's going on. Get more clues. He's been to this gas station. Picked up some local papers. And he looks through the news reports of things that have happened, in these local areas that they can blame on trolls. So they're going for some breakfast now. And we see that Thomas is not hungry, and we learn later on that he's refusing water and stuff like that. And there's a reason for that. So anyway, these are his forms he's got to fill in because it's government works. Obviously, there's lots of forms, and this is where we learn that there's two types of trolls. There's mountain trolls and forest trolls, or woodland trolls. And then there's subgroups of those, like I say, Ringle, Finch, Tosserlad, Rhyme Tosser, and there's Mountain Kings and others. A couple of one beginning with J and I've forgotten. We'll get to that. And then they're asking about why they've got three heads. Why did that one have three heads? And he says, well, they don't all have three heads, and they're never born with three heads. As they get older, the other heads grow. And he says they're not really heads; they're more like appendages that just look like heads. That they're there for to scare other trolls and for mating to impress females. But not doesn't happen with all trolls. Just some of them. There we go. Right, so what we're doing next? His breakfast looks nice. All that bacon and eggs and all sorts. I could just eat that. I'm starving. Anyway, I have to go to Norway for a good breakfast. I didn't have that breakfast like that when I was in Norway. I don't think I did anyway. I can't actually remember a lot about it. I can't actually remember eating anything in Norway, but I must have done. I had a beer. I remember drinking beer. And the barman taking the mickey out of our accent. So there were me and two friends, all Yorkshiremen, and the Norwegian for beer is öl. It's like an O with a line through it and an L, and you've got to say, the öl, please, and they were going öl, saying it in saying it back to us and laughing in a Yorkshire accent. Anyway, whatever. Enough of my travel tales. Right, so he's on about trolls again, right? Oh, and he's saying that they're not intelligent, they're very stupid, and essentially they're animals. And this is telling a tale about he saw a troll trying to eat its own tail, and it were gagging on it and got it stuck in its throat. I mean, it went rolling down a hill like a tire. That's how stupid they are. Don't they just saying he were a commando in the Navy Rangers, and but he's been a troll hunter since the 70s. So I don't know how old he is because this was made in 2010. So that's mid 70s. We'll say 35 years. So how old is he? And how long were he a commando for? So we'll say he's been doing it since his early 20s at least, hasn't he? So we're doing it part time in the 70s. Because later on he does a little story, a bit like I think they were going for the Indianapolis story from Jaws. He tells us the story later on about how he had to go in and kill all these trolls. But anyway, that's later on. They're asking here. Says they'll eat anything basically with trolls, and then they're asking him, will they eat people? And he never answers them. Right. So now he's showing him the inside of his caravan. He's got all these UV lights, and he says he can't sleep at night. He's got to have all these lights, and he uses sunscreen. But they've got troll tails around, and he says he keeps them so he constantly smells of troll, so he can sneak up on them. There we go. There's his sunscreen and food, and then we've got drawings of trolls dotted about his trailer. There you go. And right, so they're on the road again, and there he is. He's up a tree, and he's using his binoculars, and he's looking for basically troll sign, fallen trees, landslides, stuff like that might indicate that a troll's been in the area. And more lovely Norwegian landscapes. Can't really call it countryside, can you? When you say countryside, I always think like the English countryside with farmlands and hedges and rolling hills, but this is more landscape in it than countryside. But anyway, right, there he is. So they end up in this village or whatever. They find evidence that trolls have been there, but first they find a tire. You go, oh my, I forgot about this. Like a big troll, like a big bear trap, and he says um, it's not been triggered, and some smaller trolls have taken the bait. But there we go. But he leaves little lumps of concrete and charcoal, from a barbecue. 'Cause apparently trolls love that as well. So he's just replenishing that trap. Right. So, and I think I don't know if it was this part or another part later where they're looking at a tyre that's been in the forest for a while, and they said obviously no trolls have been here, or so they've nibbled on this tyre. So that might be later on. They're in another campsite, and then they're learning that they've got to something's being found, and they've got to go and there we go, pig carcasses. They've got to go and investigate that. So off they go. Oh, and they find that lots of local people are around, and I think Finn's there. Yes, he's there. Look, Finn gets there quick, doesn't he? And they're saying it's a bear that's killed these pigs. But Hans is checking under this bridge, and he knows it's a troll. There you go. This way they're telling the locals that bears store their food under a bridge. There he goes, talking to the local news. But obviously it's trolls, in it. It's not a bloody bear. But they're still blaming it on bears. But we know better. Right, this is the one where he needs to get blood samples from this one. That's his big hyperdemic nurdle. Yes, I know I said it like that. To get the blood. So they're there at night, and he's tied up some animals, goats, I think. Lure the troll. Tells them to stand well back. I think they're waiting to see that if a troll does come, and obviously one does. See in a minute. Are we going to see it? Very dark. Maybe puts his night vision on. There we go. We see a troll. It's got the poor goat look. Is it? So there we go. So he knows that the troll's there. So Hans goes back to his Land Rover and puts on his Ned Kelly gear, his metal armour he puts on. So he's got to go and deal with this troll. And he's got a bucket of Christian blood. Where the hell has he got that from? No idea. A morgue, maybe. I don't know. But he's got a bucket of Christian blood that's going to pour about. He lets these goats go. So these have survived. So here he is. And he starts reciting religious stuff. And the troll comes and it grabs hold of him. He tries to sneak round it, but it gives him a good whack, and it picks him up and knocks him down. I think he's knocked him out because he don't move for a long time. And the troll jumps back down, back under the bridge. So they go trapping over the bridge back to see he's okay, and he's fine. His hands. He gets up, and so he gets up and he goes down under the bridge, and they go. Oh, see, I've gone too far. Stay up there, but I don't think they do. Thomas goes down. Got to investigate. Here we go. Goes under the bridge. There's hands. We don't see what happens, but Thomas is going to go down and see what's going on. How far does it? Would he skip when they press the? There we're going to see him using his UV light, and then the troll explodes and covers everybody in troll guts. So that's the end of that troll. We see Hans is fine. He takes his gear off and he says he's a little stiff and a little sore, but he's okay. It must be good armour he were wearing, or maybe he's full of painkillers. I don't know. Right, so they're going to see this vet, the one who were on the phone to. Here she is. I don't know if she's got a name. Let's see. Does it say? Hilda, a veterinarian, it says, played by Torrun Lödemel Stockerlund. So they go to see her. She's saying, "What's this film crew here for?" He says, "Don't worry, they're with me. You can tell them everything." There we go. Here, it tells us what that means. Ardel's pet clinic or something. It means, isn't it? I don't see clinic there. I think it says pet clinic, something like that. But anyway, she wanted the blood sample, so um, she tells Thomas that there's a bathroom he can go clean up. So she goes and checks the blood, but she says it'll be a couple of days. There's not a lot of red blood cells. And she says it's going to take a couple of days to get the results through from these blood tests of the troll blood. And we learn later on what's going on because of this troll blood. So she gives a little bit of a history of trolls, why they do what they do. And we learn that they can't process vitamin D, which is why some of them explode and some of them calcify. And the young ones explode. What happens when they come into contact with sunlight? That gases build up inside them. And with the young ones, that causes them to explode. And with the older ones, it sort of like moves through the veins and like turn to stone. They're calcified, turn to calcium. And it's almost instantly. It takes a few seconds, and she's not happy. She's sad that they're in so much pain, even though it's only a few seconds. But she wishes that they could give them an injection that does it painlessly. But anyway, there she's talking. She's talking to Hans. This is where we see that they're in a relationship. They just hug. They don't kiss or anything like that. Anyways, right, so they're off again, off on the road again, looking for trolls. Oh, where are they now? Oh, at the back of his caravan, learning things and filling forms in it, as usual. It's government work. And this is where they ask him about local newspapers, and he says he's got files and stuff, and they look through these news clippings, like natural disasters that are, troll stuff that trolls have done that are blamed on like earthquakes and stuff like that. And there we go. A bridge collapsed, and we're blamed on like an earthquake or whatever, a flood, but it was actually a big troll banged his head. So, anyway, and then it's asking, do trolls get that big? And then the Jotuns can be that large, and we see one at the end which is over 200 feet tall. Hello, DJ. Welcome to the show. We're doing Troll Hunter this week. We're doing Troll Hunter. Trolls are real. Right, so they've got to work out where to go, and he's telling all the different territories that the trolls live in. And there we go. Jotunheimen is the closest. Isn't Jotunheimen or Jotunheim? Isn't that one of the like where the ice? I forgot what they call them now. Like Loki. Loki's one of them, isn't he? The ice people, whatever. I can't remember what they call them. Ice elves, or I don't know where they're from. Ice giants. That's it, isn't it? It's an ice giant. Is that in Jotunheim where the ice giants are from? Anyway, whatever. Right, so off we go. More beautiful Norwegian countryside. Yeah. I bet after people watching this, I bet Norwegian, the tourism, I bet it went up a bit. Yes. When I watched this, I was watching this. There we go. We get to, and I was thinking, you can see where troll legends maybe came from, because I saw that and I'm thinking it looks like to me like a sleeping troll on its back. That's its eye there and its mouth there, and that's the rest of its body. Pareidolia, I know. Yes, Jotunheim's the land of the giants. All right, very good. DJ, never heard of this movie. Is it good? Yes, it's very, very, very good. It's one of my favourite found footage films, along with Cloverfield and Skinwalkers and Eyes in the Dark and Paranormal Activity, etc., and Blair Witch. Anyway, right, so they're heading. Oh, that's where he finds the tyre. Look, I think a lot of this film, or not a lot of it, but some good, parts of it were kind of ad-libbed or made on the fly. They might have just found a tyre in the middle of the woods here, just thought, oh, we'll use that. And so he says, because this tyre's intact, obviously no trolls have been through this area because they wouldn't have been able to resist this tyre. We've got another look at Callie. There we go. They're giving us one spoilers, they're giving us one last good look at him. But anyway, never mind. Wingers, my favourite found footage film is Bumps in the Night. Ah, thank you. My little homemade film. It's on the channel. Check it out. If you go in the community section, I've put a link in there. Hey, just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. Right. So his Hans is been to. They've got these. They must have these like containers dotted about, filled with tires, and I presume other supplies. So he's got gone to collect some tires. And there we go. And so they love to chew on tires. And then he points out this container got a big dent in it, and he says a troll's tried to kick its way into it to get to the tires. There you go. So it's probably another bit that were ad libbed. They've seen this big dent in this container. I thought, we'll say a troll tried to kick it to get into it. But anyway. Right, so more countryside. So they're off. All right, that's where they're talking about. It says have the trolls mammals, and he says yes. And there you go. The gestation. I said how many they. He asks how many they are. They said well, they don't really know. Gestation period is a long time, and they only usually get one little one, and they can live for 1,000 to 1,200 years. And so they're long lived, but I think it's supposed to be quite rare. But it doesn't actually say how many there actually is. Oh, he's holding up like a clear plastic, and it's got like last time we were there, he's like drawn on the plastic where these big rocks are, because this is apparently a battle area where these big rocks are. And obviously, if any of them have moved, they know that trolls have been fighting because they throw rocks at one another, apparently. Oh, there you go. That shows you right where the rocks are. Apparently, a battlefield. They throw stones at one another. But they've not been there yet, it seems. Here we get a look at the power lines, and he says they look like power lines, but they're not actually. It's kind of an electric fence that's designed to keep the trolls in, a particular area, but for some reason it's not working. So they're carrying on. Off they go. Where are they now? Oh, hang on. They don't sound that long-lived to me. Barely infants in the grand march of time. Would have sounded cool if they didn't make the time typo. Well, yeah. Grand march of time. Like Klingons. Klingon trolls. Do Klingons have trolls? Any big names in this movie? No, there isn't, because it's Norwegian. It's a Norwegian film. I suppose there might be big names in Norway, but anywhere else. Anyway. Right, so they've arrived. This is like where I forgot to put the name now again. Oh god. Finn, that's it. Why can't I remember that name? This is where Finn must have his office or something. So he's gone in to talk to him, and but he won't. He's not relenting. I think he's wanting, more access or whatever. But he's not. He's not relenting. But he's, giving him information. He's saying all the trolls who escaped or got through the electric fence area come from Dovre, wherever that is. So I've got to get to the bottom of it. Right. So they're going to a farm that's had some stuff happening. The farm were told that a tornado just passed through their farm and knocked all these trees down. There we were showing them there. It was a tornado. People from the government came and showed us satellite pictures and showed us this tornado. So it's all a cover up. But obviously, Hans knows better. So they're going to go back at night. There we are, night time. They're going to go and find where these trolls are. And I think, is this the one where they find the mine shaft? They find the mine. Here we are, yes. They find a mine, an old mine, an abandoned mine. More like a trollnado. Yes, indeed. Call the asylum. They'll make the film, won't they? Trollnado. I mean, they've got a 3-headed troll, so they did 3-headed shark attack, didn't they? Was that the asylum? Similar. Anyway, they find this abandoned mine, so they go in and to check it out. And I was I'm not going in there, and he goes in to check. There's hands, and says, "No, they're not in. They're out hunting or whatever." Now they see there's blood around because they've been getting sheep and stuff like that. And he goes in and he's got like a horn and goes, "Whoa," and nothing replies. So he says, "We're safe to go in." So in they go. And go deep in. He says it's a lair. And it turns out these are mountain king trolls. They find the lair of the trolls, and they find some carcasses and stuff like that, sheep and stuff. And so they're going to go back out. There we go. But as they're heading back out, the trolls come back. There we see. We look at them. It's like a family of them. Anyways, speaking of which, I woke up in the middle of the night, perplexed that they never made a movie named Disasteroid. Yeah, it's there, isn't it? It's there. It's just ready to be made. I mean, it writes itself, doesn't it, really? Yeah. I bet you did. I bet you woke up in like a cold sweat, didn't you? Disasteroid. Why haven't they done that? Wrote it down. Anyway. Yes, I think he's onto something there as well. Thank goodness the writer's strike's over, Win Grace. you can sell your idea. I I don't know. The other night, it's nothing to do with anything, but well, it wasn't at night, it was early morning. I woke up. I don't know if I woke up and had what they call it. I can't remember what they call it now. Sleep paralysis, or if I just dreamt it. But I couldn't move, and I was like, I was panicking, and then just suddenly I like snapped out of it. It was like for a few seconds, but really proper panicking. I could not move at all, apart from my eyes. And I'm like, oh, I can't move, in my head, I wasn't saying it. And then it just like snapped out of it. And I don't know if I dreamt it or if I did have, sleep paralysis. But anyway, that was scary. Speaking of waking up, perplexed. It can be double feature with my other idea, zombie. Don't push your luck, mate. Don't push your luck. I mean, we've had zombievers, haven't we? Anyway, I used to have sleep paralysis a lot, not much lately, thankfully. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever encountered it, but I don't know if I actually had it or if I just dreamt that I had it. It's like you're in that weird state, aren't you? But anyway, if it were real sleep paralysis, it's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. Anyway, back to the film. Right. The Mountain King trolls come back. They've got to, blocking the way, obviously. So they've got to go back in. They'll go back into the cave and they find a nook to hide inside. So they go, they hide inside, and the trolls come in and they're sniffing. And for some reason, Callie's freaking out and he's saying, "Have you got the troll smell?" And he's rubbing it all over himself. Where are we? Slaughterhouse is on Hulu. Slaughterhouse. They'll make anything. Yes, they will. So you wonder how some of these films, get. I mean, some of them, they're like these ludicrous titles with ludicrous plots, but like the pretty professionally made films. They're not like just somebody with a camcorder, like me. I mean, bloody bumps in the night. They're like biggish productions, aren't they? You think, how? But anyway, I don't know. I'm not in the film industry, so anyway. Right. So these trolls are coming back and they're having a sniff about, and Callie's freaking out, rubbing himself with the troll smell. But what troll is it? Do all trolls smell the same? Because there's different sorts of trolls, isn't there? Like I said, these are, pardon me, mountain kings, and the one that with 3 heads were a tosser lad. And so do they all smell the same? if he rubs himself in Tosserlad stench, would a mountain king troll know the difference? Would he say that why is there a Tosserlad troll in our lair and kick off? I don't know. You haven't to think about it. I'm overthinking it. Anyway, right. By the way, that's a Jotun there on the thumbnail. Right, so they come in, they don't see him, and that's just a shot of it's found footage. Remember, that's just a shot of the roof that Callie's just put the camera at a funny angle. Right, so they're settling down. One of them sat down right in front of the little hole that they're hiding in, and the others are there in the background, going to sleep. And then one farts. The one that's there farts, and apparently it stinks horrible. But Callie's freaking out. There he is, look, freaking out, rubbing himself with the troll stench, and then it uses it all up. He says, "Have you got any more?" I said, "No, what's up with you?" He says, "I'm Christian." And so he's freaking out, and he starts reciting verse. And there you go. "Why so sad? I'm a Christian." He's freaking out. Wakes up the troll, so they've got to run for it. So off they go. So they run past the trolls, and he's flashing his lights at them, flashing his UV thing at them to slow them down. His hands. They're running, and unfortunately, Callie gets got by the Mountain King trolls. We don't see it, but we see the camera just stop. It gets picked up. There it goes, getting higher and higher. It's got him, and that's the last we see of Callie. Oh, the camera falls, and the glass. You see that the glass is broken, and obviously they've gone and picked it back up and brought it out. Not press stop on the recording thing, so it's still recording. And he goes back in, does Hans, and it just finds a boot. That's all that's left of Callie is a boot. So there's no cameraman now. Probably missed it earlier, but did you mention where these caves are? Well, I don't know. They're in Norway somewhere. I don't know. In real life. Oh, well, apparently we're filmed somewhere in Western Norway. Let's have a look. Filming took place in the forests and mountains of Western Norway, and actress Johanna Mørk called it an exhausting experience. But that's all it says. That's all it says. Western Norway. So there we go. Right. I don't know where Western Norway is. It's a long country, is Norway, isn't it? So which part of it, I don't know. Anyway, a mountainy bit. Right. So obviously they're all devastated by the loss of Callie, and he's saying, "Why didn't he tell us he were Christian? Why did he lie?" So, but nothing they could do about it. They soon get over it. Windress says, "I'd like to visit Norway one day. Maybe I can film a sequel for you." It's a lovely country. I've been. Like I say, I've been once. In 1990, me and two friends, we got, we were young enough. How old were I? 23. We were young enough to get what's called a young person's rail ticket, where you pay for like a month's worth of essentially free rail travel throughout Europe. And so we just went all around Europe on trains, sleeping in train corridors and stuff like that. And we started off, we got a ferry from the UK up to Bergen in Norway, and then we got the train, went to Oslo, and then Stockholm in Sweden, and then down to Denmark, and then we kind of zigzagged. When we got to mainland Europe, we kind of zigzagged across Europe on night trains. So that was fun, tiring. Did it for a couple of weeks, and then we came home. To be honest, the ferry crossings were the best bit because they were most comfortable because we had a cabin and we slept. But yes, Norway is an amazing country. But in 1990, it was really expensive. I presume it still is. But anyway, right. Where were we? Yes. Hans says that he'll have to come back later to deal with these trolls. So I presume he does. It doesn't show it, I don't think. But yeah, why didn't Callie tell him he was Christian? Anyway, so he's got to find out why the beasts are escaping. Basically, what's making all these trolls come down. And we learn later on it's one of these. It's a Jotun. Anyway, right. So they go back to his trailer, and we see that Finn is there, and is not prepared to let them go public, and saying people are dying and all that, and have a big row and stuff like that. But Hans says, do you want to quit? Fair enough if you want to quit. I'll drop you off at wherever. And they said, no, they want to carry on. We continue to film. So now they're waiting for a train, and they're waiting for their new camera person, who is Malika, played by Emila Berg Domas, who turns out is a Muslim. So that's an interesting curveball they're throwing in there. But so she's arriving, presumably from the same college that they are. Maybe did they just phone up and say, "Hello, is that Volda College? I'm afraid our cameraman's been eaten by a troll. Can you send another one, please?" I presume that's what happened. It's somewhere like that. Yeah, they're asking her, "You're not a Christian?" And she says, "I'm Muslim." So they ask Hans, and he says, "Is it all right if she's a Muslim?" And he says, "I've no idea. I suppose we'll have to see what happens." But there we go. Is it okay with Muslims? But anyway, she thinks they're going to film muskoxes. But they explain to her, no, they're going to film trolls. Obviously, she don't believe them. There we go. She's worked for the BBC, and she's been filming lions in Tanzania. So, right, anyway, so we're getting near the climax now. He's kitting out his Land Rover, look, putting all these big spiky things all over it. It looks like it's in Mad Max. So they're heading out now into Jotunheim. Here we go. We see there's more trees being felled, and we see that there we go. It's the worst he's ever seen. All the trees have been, knocked down, and he says a big Jotun or whatever has, stomped through here. There you go. A Jotun has probably broken out here, so that they've got to go and check the power company. I think that's where they're going next. That's Malika saying, "Do you all believe in trolls?" And he's saying, "Do you think a squirrel ploughed down here?" So now I think they're going, to the power company, because we're seeing these, see what's happened with the electric fences. They're just looking at them. Look. That's what he's saying. It may look like ordinary high voltage lines, but it's like an electric fence. So they've got to go to the people that handle the power. So they go to this power station. And they ask, do they know about the troll? And says, no, they just work there. So apparently there's this all these power lines. It just forms a big circle, and it says, it goes from here round here, and it says, does that make sense? It's not really, but I just work here. Who would win in the fight, a troll or Paul Bunyan? Don't know. Paul Bunyan's got an axe, hasn't he? Maybe Paul Bunyan. If we're at night, I don't know. If we're in daytime, it'd be easy, wouldn't it, Paul Bunyan? But at night, I don't know. Paul Bunyan's got an axe, so he'd see it off. It's a funny tale, is that, isn't it, Paul? I don't know it really. I've just heard of it. It's an American thing, isn't it? But why were he so big? I don't get it. Anyway. So, where were we? Hang on, let's get rid of that. Oh, there we go. There's several hundred feet of high voltage cable went into the ground, 300,000 volts. They don't know why. It's been about 3 weeks. Obviously, they haven't been out to repair it yet. But it just forms this big circle. And there you go. He's asking him, they go in a circle. Isn't that strange? Well, maybe a little. But, they just do their job. Right, so they're going to go up now and excuse me, check it out. Yeah. There's a cabin, a TSS cabin, the Troll Security Service. What do they work for? There's a cabin that they can go and stay in. while they wait for this Jotun to arrive. Um, they go around this entire area, so that's where they're going. There we go. They arrive at the cabin. Looks really cozy. As I say, I wouldn't mind staying there myself. Looks really nice. So inside, see, it's all lovely. And they're just waiting. I think I've forgotten the name already. Me and bloody names. Um, Johanna. I think she's been fixing Calla's camera. She was fiddling with it. Maybe she's changed the lens because I think we may get a couple of different, um, um, perspectives. We get Malika's camera, and I think we carry on with this one as well. I think. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oh, there we see it's. Oh, that might be what they're doing. Yes, yes. We see down there. Oh, you just see at the bottom of the screen. It's like a hard drive. I think they're just downloading the footage. It must be digital, from the camera into the hard drive because he points it out later on. He says all the footage is on here. Right. Oh, talking about um, why they live up there and stuff. And I see where he's telling his Indianapolis story. In the 70s, they decided to build all these tunnels through the mountains in an area that were trolls. And he was sent in to exterminate all the trolls in that mountain because they live in caves in the mountains. Pardon me. And he went in and he said, kill all the trolls, and there were pregnant females and young, and all them newborns who could not even walk. And obviously, it weighs heavily on him. So there we go. So that was his little Jaws Indianapolis speech. Right. So Thomas is giving a little thing to camera, talking about Hans. His whole life has been about trolls, but then he gets ill. It's like kind of he was all queasy. Don't know what's up with him there. He kind of collapses. They take him back inside. Hear a noise when they see. I'm going to show it. I might have missed it. Loads of birds. Birds are flying in one direction. Lots of birds are flying away from something. I'm going to show it here. So he's going to go out now. So it's going to be light in an hour. So he's going to go out and try and find this troll. So there he's getting ready. He's got a new light. Look, he had these big banks of UV lights before, didn't he? Now he's just got this big one there. He's going to go out. And then his phone rings. By the way, we learned that this Jotun's about 200 feet tall, apparently. We do see it soon. But his phone rings, so he answers it. And then it's, there we go. It's Hilda, the veterinarian. And she got the results back of the blood. And the trolls have rabies. All the trolls that they've encountered so far have had rabies. And it turns out that the Jotun that's in this area has got rabies, and it's been attacking all the other trolls. And because obviously rabies makes you go crazy, doesn't it? And that's what's driven them, down from this area. So that's what's up. So obviously now Thomas has obviously got rabies as well. So he's not happy. So well, we've got to get him to hospital, but obviously he's got to deal with this troll first. Anyway. Right, so we're getting ready for the Jotun to arrive. So they go back in. We're going to see it in a minute. They see it through the window. Show it. There it is. There it is. We see it in the distance first. We see it, lumbering like through a valley. We see it coming through in the distance. It's getting closer, and from now on, you just hear it like moaning and roaring all the time, just constantly. And there it is. He's got to go deal with that, and there's he's got play some music. These loudspeakers and his Land Rover, trying to draw it away because obviously religious music affects trolls as well. I don't know, but it's drawing it away, and then we see him in the distance. There we go, using his UV light on the troll. and then the battery runs out, so he comes driving out the way. The battery ran out, so he's got to change batteries. And then saying it's definitely rabies because you see it's all like frothing at the mouth. Is this troll when you see its face later on? Oh, they come across this fella. I don't know what significance he has, but they just come across this fella. He says he's a seismologist, so he's obviously seen the troll. And I don't know why. Maybe they just had to have an excuse to stop. But time for some Creed. Apollo Creed, or do you mean the band Creed? And real about religious music. Oh dear. Anyway, so I think they just had to have an excuse to make him stop and pick up this thing, and the troll could catch up to him. And he flashes his light at it again. And so, like I was saying, he's a seismologist. So they've got to basically get past him, the troll. So they do a cool bit here where they're driving in between the troll's feet. Look, cool. It's roaring and stomping, and it's all really loud. It's good sound effects. I'll unmute it, and I'll just let you know what it's like. Watch it be really quiet now. Thought it would be. Oh dear. Let me mute it again. Where are we? Volume there, mute. Shush. Anyway, so they get past it, but they don't, and it if I'm too far. Don't get past it, and it gives them a clout. You saw it in the trailer, actually, didn't you? We see its hand. They're coming. Look, here it comes in a minute. Yeah. And it knocks the. I keep calling it a jeep. Knocks the Land Rover over. They're fine. They get out, and we see it there in the distance. I think we see. Do we see it? So there's some shots where you can see it. I think you can see it in that. But it is kind of frothing at the mouth. Anyway, he says, "I've got to go and finish it off." His hands says, "You'll follow that road now." Because obviously saying goodbye to him now. We're never going to see Hans again. He says, "I've got to go and finish it off. You'll follow that road. It'll bring you to wherever." And it says, "I hope you've recorded what you need because this is it." Off he goes to deal with this troll, and he's got some sort of sunshine bazooka. Here we go. I'm going to show it. Too far. Here we go. Here we go. Gets ready with his UV bazooka. Here's it up into the troll, and it goes inside it, and it turns it to stone from within. Poor thing. There we go. And it all just collapses and disintegrates. There it is. That's the end of the poor Jotun. But it did have rabies. How did it get rabies? Don't know. What gave the Jotun rabies? No idea. Jaegers versus Jotuns coming this fall. Yes, see, you're a wellspring of great ideas. You have to send a letter off to Netflix. They'll pay for it. Right, so that's the end of that. Oh, this was happy as Thomas now. He said, "Oh, the roaring stopped, and the Jotun's gone," and then he goes walking off into the. It's like Clint Eastwood goes walking off into the distance. So obviously the sun comes up then because it were coming up with the sun. So I don't know where that Jotun were going to go. Did it have a cave it could hide in? Because it was in the middle, not exactly mountainous, was it? That it could get to quickly if the sun were ready to come up. Never mind. We had to think about it. Right. So anyway, so we see this is Finn and some other people arriving, and for some reason, They start chasing them across the fields for some reason. I've no idea why. They just do. Maybe they're fleeing for their lives. I don't know. Do we see people with guns? I don't know because it all happens. It's all shaking. I don't know what's happening, and they just start running off and falling over. There you go, Thomas, stop! Oh, and then these big trucks come, and then we just hear the trucks go, and then it ends. And we get a card there. No corpse was found in the mine, so no sign of Callie was found. And the students have never been seen again, so presumably the government's got them. And it's saying anyone knows anything, contact that company or your local police station. And it's been impossible to confirm the existence of the Troll Security Service. And then we get to the last bit of the film. Prime Minister Jens Stoltenberg, however, gave an indirect confirmation, and then it shows some actual footage of the actual Norwegian Prime Minister um, apparently talking about trolls. I think in real life, we were talking about there's a thing up in Norway, like a big power thing or something like the Trollenfield something or other, and they were talking about that. But the camera moves over and we see Finn there. It's obviously been added later. But they've used the real Prime Minister, like they used Bill Clinton in Contact. There we go. But there we go. Norway has trolls, so more power lines in Norway are necessary. And there's Finn, sort of like glancing over. And then it ends. Troll Hunter, Trolljägaren. And there we go. And there it ends. It ends. There's one last little bit at the end, but it's not really important. No trolls were harmed during the making of this movie. Then we get one last little bit. It's just a flash of the Mountain Kings. There we go. And that's it. That's it. The end. So there we go. That's the end of Troll Hunter. A cool film. Well, I think it is. There we go. Make myself big. Go away. So it's one of my favourite found footage films. It's a lot of fun. Even though it's in foreign. Even though it's in foreign. But there is an English dub. I think it is still on Netflix. It is in the UK anyways. Let me check. Ba-dum. I know it was on Netflix. I think it still is. Don't ask me to sign in. No, it's not asking me to sign in because I can never remember my bloody password. Right. What am I looking for? Troll Hunter. Oh no, it's not. Not anymore. Troll Hunters is on, the animated series, and also the film Troll is on, which is quite good actually. Which is a Norwegian film. Hang on, let me go back. How do I look at information about it? I'll add it to my list. No, I didn't press that, stupid. There we go. Yeah, from 2022, which is another Norwegian film in Norwegian, I think. But it's not found footage. But it is a pretty good film, and it's about a giant troll. But there's only one in it. But that's pretty good. That's on Netflix. I think it is actually a Netflix film. But no, Troll Hunters not on UK Netflix anymore. So never mind. Used to be, but not anymore. Wingrace says the trolls have left their caves to live on the internet. Yes, they have. There's lots of trolls on the internet. Looks like Prime might have it. Or is it on Amazon Prime? Could be. Let me check on UK Prime. They differ, don't they, around the world? They differ around the world. Because of silly rights and stuff. Let's have a look. Troll Hunter. Spell. No, that's it. Troll Hunter. Oh, yes. Well, yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, sorry. It is on Prime in the UK. There's the English dub version, which you can buy or rent. And then the English subtitled, which is on Prime. Oh, no, it says unavailable. It's on Shudder. It's on Shudder. So if you subscribe to Shudder through Prime Video, then you can watch it. But I'm not doing that. Or you can buy it. I haven't bought it, have I? You never know. No, I haven't. I sometimes buy things on Amazon Prime and forget. Prime Video, I do. And my son's always buying stuff. Always buying stuff. Right, so we'll leave it there. Move that. We'll leave it there. So, what's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday. Wednesday's my news. Next Friday, I haven't got a DVD for this one to show. Next Friday is the Halloween special. We've got a double bill, Trick or Treat from 1986 and Trick or Treat from 2009 or 2007, depending where you look. I think it was made in like 2007, but I don't think it was released to the public until 2009. If you know what I mean. I think it was doing the not the call it, festival circuit in 2007. It wasn't released publicly till 2009. But both cool films, Trick or Treat and Trick or Treat. And then what? Next Monday, I've got a Blu-ray for that one. I've got a DVD of Trick or Treat, the 1986 one, and I don't know where I've put it. I don't know where I've put it. It's somewhere, but I don't know where it is. It's probably in a box somewhere. And I haven't got a DVD of Trick or Treat, but I have bought that one on Prime Video, so I do own it digitally. But anyway, next Monday is Knowing, the Nicolas Cage film, which is cool. And then with some other stuff coming up as well. Right, we'll leave it there. So thanks, Win Grace, for joining. Hope you're feeling better, by the way. Hope you're feeling better. You weren't so well yesterday, were you? So hope you're feeling better. And thanks, DJ, as well. No Josh Temple, and no Joshua Kanapke today. We've had one lone Josh. I'll let you guess who that is. Could be anybody. Is it DJ? Does J stand for Josh? DJ? Don't know. No Archmage Frey on Twitch. I'm just checking on Rumble, make sure there's nothing in the chat on Rumble. Sometimes they pop in and I forget to check. But no, nobody's done anything on Rumble. Elizabeth Hoffman just died. I don't know who that is. I'll have to check now. Is it somebody I know? I can't remember. Elizabeth Hoffman. Elizabeth Hoffman, the mother bee on Sisters, dies at 97. Oh, yes, I know her face. Yes. From that's where I know her from, Dante's Peak. Yes. Was she in Stargate as well? Am I thinking of somebody else? What else have I seen her in? What else have I seen her in? See if I have to check now. What have I seen her in? Yes, Catherine Lang. I'm thinking Catherine Langford in SG1. Yes, I thought so. But she played the mother in the annoying grandmother, didn't she, in Dante's Peak? But yes, she was Catherine. What's her face in SG1? Catherine Langford in SG1, wasn't she? Yes. Oh dear. At least 97. I hope I live to be 97. Yes, 97. I hope I do. I hope I live to be 90. 80 would do me, and give me another 25 years. I'd be surprised if I last 5. What's Win Grace saying now? Just watched the first SG1 alternate universe episode with her this weekend. I thought to myself that she must be gone and couldn't return for a new series. Right. The first alternate universe. Yeah. Is that where the one where they go and talk to her, but she obviously doesn't know anything about SG, the Stargate and all that? Is it that? I forgot the name of the episode now. The one where they go back in time 3,000 years, that one. Anyway, now I feel bad. Well, don't feel bad. Anyway, on that somber note, as I said, 97 is a good age. It is. But on that somber note, we'll leave it there. So thanks, DJ. Does the J stand for Josh? He says goodbye, my friends. So goodbye. As I said, I'll see you on Wednesday, and I'll see you next Friday for Friday Night Appointment with Fear. We'll be back again with Magnificent Mondays next Monday with Knowing, the Nicolas Cage film. So Hang on, I've got to sort myself out here. It's a professional. So, wherever you are, thanks for watching. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll see you there.